Hi everyone. Welcome to this evening's level 6 to 7 webinar. You're on the last shift of the day, okay, the 8 p.m. slot. So we should start by introducing ourselves. I'm Danielle, and I'm one of the teachers at Maes Meraviglii, which is one of the schools in Milan. I'm Australian, and I've been a teacher at Maes for 18 months. And that's also how long I've been living in Italy. Okay. And I'm joined by
Sean. Hi everyone, my name is Sean. I come from Ireland. I work with Danielle in the school on Via Meravigli here in Milan. And I have been in Italy since September, and I've been working in the school since then as well.
So guys, we want to make this webinar like a virtual classroom. So we want you to write in to tell us or ask your questions and answer the questions on the webinar, and also to comment. Let us know any comments along the way. But first of all, please tell us who you are and where you're from. All right, we want to know who's watching. So send us a message just to introduce yourself, and we can let everyone else know that you're here. So today we have the topic of our webinar is geography. Okay. And I think it's a great focus because it's got a good combination of things that we cover. So we have lots of vocabulary for comparing different locations, all right? Lots of nouns and also lots of adjectives. Then we go on to some superlatives and some comparatives, which I think you know is sort of to compare different things. How we use adjectives to compare different things. So we've got lots of sort of general vocabulary, and we also have lots of grammar. All right. We have someone from Lyon. Fantastic. Francois,
Hello,
is that how I pronounce your name? I don't know. Fantastic. Great to have you here. I love Lyon. I think it's a lovely town. And one of my good friends is from Lyon. So welcome. Okay, Sean, we're starting off with a quiz. Can you read these questions or statements for us?
Yes. So where are they? So we have 3 facts here, and you have to name the place where this thing is. So Lake Baikal is the deepest lake in the world, 1,637 meters deep. It holds 20% of the world's fresh water. Lake Baikal is in where? The widest river in the world is the Amazon River in something. The highest waterfall in the world is Angel Falls at 979 meters. It is located in...
Okay. Now, so the final missing words, the answers, it might be a continent or it might be a country. All right. Obviously, it's not important if you get the question right. It's just a quiz. It's not about your English capabilities, but we want to make sure that you understand all the words in the statements. That's what's important. So there are definitely some interesting words in here. If you don't understand one of them, send us a message so we can explain it. But maybe one of them we should explain is deep, the deepest. Okay. Does everyone know what deep means? So deep is an adjective, right? And it explains how far something goes down. Okay. So if here is the top, it's how far it goes down. Yeah. What else have we got? Fresh water. Does everyone know what fresh
Yeah.
water means? It's a strange one.
Mm, yeah. So we have fresh water and seawater, and there's an important difference between those. Let us know if you know the difference.
Yeah. Okay. So we have wide. So in the second sentence, the widest river. All right. So we've got wide is a noun. All right. So wide is like this. We can't see my hands, but going out. Okay. It's how far across something is. So you can talk about, for example, a street is wide. Okay. Maybe it's a long way. It takes you a long time to cross the street. It's a wide street. All right.
Mhm.
Okay. Maybe we should give
And
some of the
just a
answers.
small thing to note. Yeah, I think maybe go ahead and give the answers, but I just noticed that meters here is spelled with the American English spelling. I personally would spell it like this. A British English, I think. I don't know which you would use.
Yeah, in Australia
Mm-hmm.
we use that version that Sean's showing now, but they're both correct. You can use either version. Mhm. Very good,
Mm.
Francois. Yeah, well done.
Francois.
Okay. Yep.
Hmm.
So basically,
You
fresh
seem to
water.
be, it's,
Sorry, go Sean.
yeah. No, I just noticed Francois's picture. He seems to be somewhere very spectacular,
Yeah,
some kind of waterfall, like in the
yeah,
picture.
yeah. Maybe
Let us
you've been
know
to
where you
Angel
are,
Falls. Yeah,
Francois.
let us know where you are, Francois. Definitely. So yeah, fresh water is like naturally occurring water, usually inland. Okay, so within a country, not in the sea, not in the ocean. All right. Okay, let's go through and sell the answers. We don't expect you to know them. So Lake Baikal, I think that's how you pronounce it, is in Russia. Okay. The
Mm,
widest river, all right, so wide, remember the furthest across, not length, but width, like this, how wide it is in South America. Mhm. The highest waterfall, so remember the highest, yeah, the highest waterfall is Angel Falls at 979 meters. And it's located in a country with lots of problems, Venezuela. Yeah.
oh, yeah. Mm.
Okay, Francois'
So,
picture.
Francois is in Croatia. Very nice. I've never been to Croatia. Have you, Danielle?
Yes, I have. I've been to Croatia. It's a beautiful country.
Okay, I must go. Yeah, I'm not very well traveled. I haven't been to any of these places.
Oh, okay. um, I've been to Russia and I've been to South America, but I didn't go to Venezuela. I've been to the
Okay.
others. Giorgio, yeah, well done. Welcome, first of all. So fresh water we usually
Mhm.
drink. Giorgio, where are you from? Tell us where you're from, and yeah, just because we like to know who's watching us. Okay, guys, let's go on. Let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so here we have different geographic locations and some nouns that describe them. We've got a valley, a river, a desert, island, canyon, lake, mountains, cliffs. Now, be careful of the pronunciation of this one, guys. I know it's, English pronunciation is very difficult, but the S is silent. So we say island, all right, like your eye, island. All right. So here we have to match them to the pictures. Some of these are beautiful pictures. They look amazing. So send us a message to match them up for us. Okay. Giorgio, you're from Sicily.
Mm.
You live in Florence. Very nice.
Mm.
Okay. So some of these are, I'm sure some of them you know. Maybe some of the others, some of them maybe you don't know though. Okay,
Mhm.
Giorgio's got one. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the valley is
Valley.
well, similar in Italian, isn't it? I don't know what it is in French, Francois. Do you speak French, Sean?
I think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's Valet or something. Val or something. It's like Italian, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just curious though. Do you
Yeah.
speak French? Do you speak French, Sean?
I mean, not nothing. I did it in school, but it's nowhere near fluent, certainly.
Okay. Okay, what about B? So yeah, valley. I'm sure you guys know.
B, Georgia again. Mountains.
Yeah, you could use, yeah. It's a bit of a strange looking mountain, but yeah, it's a mountain. C, what do you think this is? Some water. I think it's some fresh.
Georgia, yeah, has a question about valley. So valley is similar to hill. No. So valley is the area between hills or mountains. So when you have highlands and lowlands, I know for a fact that Florence is in a valley between the Tuscan hills. So it's kind of between, if you understand what I mean by that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah?
And a hill is a smaller version of a mountain. So you've got the mountains very high, you've got the hills like this, and then you've got the valley through the middle. Okay. What about C? What is this here? Okay, it's water. What do you think it is? Fresh water, even? Yeah, Giorgio's got it. Yeah, it's a lake. Okay, it's a lake. D, what's this? This piece of land in the middle of the water. You guys might know this one. Yeah, an island. Excellent. All right, what about this one? This looks like it might be in the Middle East or something.
Yeah, the desert.
Yeah.
You have a desert in Australia, don't you?
Yeah, most of Australia is desert. Yeah, but it's not sandy like this. It's just dry land. Yeah. Guys, one thing to be careful of is the spelling of this, because desert equals dry, sandy earth, right? Without rain. And then you have dessert, which is something sweet you eat after dinner. Right? So one has one S, the other has two S's. So we have desert is this, dessert is what you eat. Okay? So it's easy to mix them up. All right, so F, we have cliffs. Yeah, well done. All right, these beautiful cliffs. That looks like it could be an island, Sean. Looks very Irish to me.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that picture might be in Ireland, actually, Donegal or somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so a cliff, guys, is when the land stops suddenly and goes down, and it's usually into the sea or the ocean, right? It's the cliff. So there are some very famous cliffs in the world. So in England, you have the cliffs of, is that right? The cliffs of Dover? Do they say that? The white cliffs of Dover.
Yeah.
which
because the rock is white, it's very particular.
exactly. Okay, G, river. Yeah, well done, guys. You've got this. I think that's in Prague. Is it Prague?
I think that's Florence. No?
Is that Florence? Sorry.
It's the Arno.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, there's.
It's
Okay,
hard
yeah,
to
sorry.
see. But in
And then
Prague as
finally,
well,
you've
a
got.
very famous bridge, isn't there?
Yeah, that's why I thought it was Prague. And then a canyon. Now, guys, what's a canyon? How do we think about what a canyon is? Right, it's usually like it goes under the ground. Right, there's lots in North America. There's lots in the USA, particularly in is it Arizona? Sort of just outside of Las Vegas. There's lots of them. Yeah. Okay, Giorgio's got a. Oh, Francois, there's beautiful cliffs in France. Great. It's nice to know. Giorgio has an example, a question. So is an example of a cliff the channel between England and France? Not quite. So the channel, so I'll just bring this one up so everyone knows. So the channel, well done. Yeah, that's what we call it, the stretch of water. But the cliff is the land, all right? So it's where the land ends and drops down into the water, all right? So maybe there are cliffs on England, on the edge of England. Maybe there are cliffs on the edge of France as well. I don't know. Okay. And yep, Francois, a kind of big valley. Yeah, but a canyon, I think, has to be underground. It sort of has to go down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well done, guys. Sean, did you want to read this one?
Okay, so adjectives. What is the opposite of wide, deep, high, low, narrow, and shallow? So we have 3 adjectives on either side, and some are opposites of the other ones, and you need to match wide, deep, and high to the opposite on the other side. So we looked at them earlier. We'll see if you can figure out which one is the correct opposite.
Okay, so all of these adjectives you might use to describe the nouns on the other page. All right, the different geographic locations. Yeah. I think you guys have got them already. Yeah. Wide and narrow. Okay. So wide like this, narrow like this, and deep and shallow. Yep. And high and low. High and low, I realise you guys know. So deep and shallow. We usually use this to describe water. Okay. Bodies of water. Okay. All right. Now we need to think about which adjectives you would use to describe these geographic features. So here we have the different types of geographies, the nouns. Here are some options for the adjectives. Have a think about which adjectives you might use for which nouns. Okay. So for example, for a valley, can you describe a valley as wide or narrow, or deep or shallow, or high or low? All right. Sometimes you can use all of them. Sometimes you can use only one of them. All right, but have a think about which ones you think go together. Okay, so we start with a valley. How can you describe a valley?
So Francois says wide or narrow for the valley, and Georgia says wide and high. Yeah.
Okay, Yeah, so wide and narrow, yeah. You can also say deep and shallow. As to how far down it goes. High and low, yeah, maybe less so. I think that's a bit difficult though, because it's a
Yeah.
low valley.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I think you could say. Yeah, I think that would be okay.
but we would usually say a deep valley. It's kind of, but you'd be understood definitely if you said high or low.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, what about a river? How do we describe a river? All right, this one might be a bit easier. A river? Is there lots of rivers in Ireland, Sean? I can't think. It's not like a main river,
Yeah,
is there?
we do. The River Shannon. It's the longest river in Britain and Ireland, so that
Oh,
it's
okay.
longer than any river in Britain as well. So it's not too bad, but
Okay, I didn't know.
it's not that long, really.
Sorry. It's longer than the Thames, though. Longer than the Thames.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, so we've got wide and deep. Okay, so you both said the same thing, and I think you are both correct. Yeah. You can have a wide river, a narrow river, a deep river, or a shallow river. Very good. What about a canyon? A canyon.
Do you have canyons in the outback in Australia?
We have. I No, I don't think so. Maybe we do. I just haven't seen them. We have what we call gorges, which look a bit like canyons, and they have
Okay.
water at the bottom. But they're like above grounds,
Okay.
I think. They're called gorges.
Okay.
They're natural. It's like examples of natural fresh water. But yeah, I don't think we have canyons. Okay, Giorgio says a canyon can be deep. Yep, deep or shallow. Yeah, I think maybe it can be wide or narrow as well. Yeah, wide or narrow.
Mm, very good.
Describe a mountain. Yeah, this is something which Italy has in abundance. I don't know about France. I guess, yeah, I guess in France you've got the Alps still, don't you? And
Yeah. The Pyrenees as well,
that's what
near
I was
near
thinking of.
Spain.
Yeah, near Spain, the Pyrenees. Okay, how do we describe rivers? Sorry, mountains, guys.
I think we have lake before that.
Oh, sorry, lake. I've skipped one. Yeah, a lake is deep or shallow. You can also, yeah, well done. Yeah, excellent. Okay, now mountains. Sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself. How do we describe mountains? Yeah, high or low. Yeah, well done. A high mountain or a low mountain. And then cliffs. This is a bit of a strange one. Okay, I think this is a bit of a tricky one. Okay, while you're waiting, I'll show you. So yeah, for cliffs, you'd say high or low as well. You wouldn't say deep or shallow because, yeah, no, you would just say if it's a high cliff or a low cliff. Okay, well done. Excellent. Good work, guys. Okay, let's skip this one. All right. Here we have a nice long text, okay, about somewhere in the US. Now, this text has lots of superlatives and lots of comparatives, right? Maybe we should have a quick revision about what superlatives and comparatives are. Okay, so let's start with comparatives because that's the simpler of the two. A comparative is based on an adjective. It's a word which is based on an adjective, and we use it to compare two nouns. All right. Now, do you guys remember how to create a comparative? There's sort of two major rules. If the adjective is quite short, we add ER on the end. All right. If the adjective is longer, so sometimes 2 syllables or more, but certainly 3 syllables or more, we say more and then the full adjective afterwards. Okay. That's a comparative when you're comparing two things. Sean, do you want to explain a superlative? So a superlative, guys, is when you compare one thing against all of the others. All right. So one thing compared to everything else. To create a superlative, you have the adjective, then you add est. All right. That's for short adjectives. For longer adjectives, you have most and then the full adjective. Okay. So they're the two things we're looking for in this text. Sean, do you want to read it for us?
Sure. So, geographically speaking, the US is the world's third largest country in size. It is 2 times larger than the European Union. Its geography is very diverse, and you can find everything from tropical islands in Hawaii and Florida to cliffs, canyons, and deserts in the Southwest. Death Valley in California is deeper than the Grand Canyon. At 86 meters, it is the lowest point in the country. Denali in Alaska is the tallest mountain in the US, 8,198 meters, and in North America. Crater Lake in Oregon is 589 meters deep. It's also the 9th deepest lake in the world. The Mississippi River is the longest river in the US and the 4th longest in the world.
Okay, so guys, first of all, I think the first thing that comes up is the superlatives. So tell us the superlatives in this text. All right, there's quite a few of them. If you just include them in write them in a message to us. Okay, we'll do the superlatives first. Largest, yep, well done, that's the first one. Okay, US is the world's third largest country. So you're comparing that country to all of the others. Lowest. Yeah, well done. And then deepest. Oh, tallest as well. Where is the deepest? Yeah. And then longest we have twice. Excellent, well done. Okay, what about the comparatives? Okay. Yeah, the tallest we had, well done. Guys, we know there's a bit of a delay as well. There's a bit of a lag. So sorry if we've sort of taken off and your message hasn't shown yet. Larger and deeper. Yep, 2 times larger. deeper. I think that's it. Yeah. Is that it? I think that's all of them. Okay, well done.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why we have the ninth and the fourth. So you guys know when we say this. So the third largest, the ninth deepest, the fourth longest. You know what that means, don't you? So there's three more for the fourth longest. There's the longest, the second longest, the third longest, and the fourth longest, yeah? Okay. All right. Now, here we have big, bigger, and biggest. All right. So you've got the adjective, the comparative, and the superlative. Now, we need to compare these three mountains. So we've got Mont Blanc, Mount Denali, and Mount Everest. So yeah, in English, guys, we use the French version. I don't know why, but we use the French version. We just say Mont Blanc. Okay. I don't know where this is. Sean, do you know where this is?
Which?
Mount Denali. I don't know where it is.
I'm not sure either.
No, I don't know. And then Mount Everest, obviously, we have in the Himalayas. Okay, now you have a look at these three. Here you have how tall they are, right, or how high they are. So Mont Blanc is 4,810 meters tall, above sea level, I guess we say. Mount Denali is 6,190 meters. Mount Everest, 8,848 meters. Now, using some adjectives and some comparatives and superlatives, write us a sentence describing them. Okay? So, okay, how would you describe them using some other language? Yeah, great. Okay, so what have we got? So we've got Mont Blanc is lower than, yeah, perfect. Excellent. Everest is bigger. Yeah, we'd probably say higher or taller. Okay. You can say big, but I think I'd say higher or taller. Yeah, or higher. And then we have, yep, exactly, Giorgio. Just one thing, you need to have the before it. Okay, so Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Okay, something that we have to have the when we talk about comparatives. Perfect, yeah, excellent, you knew. Okay. Now, I think we've got some, okay, here we've got some other examples. All right. Sean, do you want to read these out to us?
Okay, so geography around the world. We have islands, and we have the size of these islands in kilometers squared. So I think what's important to note here is how you read very big numbers like these. So Madagascar is 587,000 kilometers squared in area, in size, and Hawaii is 28,000 kilometers squared. So just look at the first part and then say thousand afterwards. So the bit before the comma, 587, 28,000. And for lakes, it's the same, except so we have, sorry, the connection is going a little bit. Let me get it. We have Lake Victoria, which is 69,000 kilometers squared in area and 83 meters deep. We have Lake Tahoe, which is 496 kilometers squared and 500 meters deep. Lake is 8,372 kilometers squared, 281 meters deep. So for an instance where you have before and after the comma, so you put a little thousand where the comma is between the 8 and the 372. And then we have Mount Fuji is 3,770 meters tall. Mount Kilimanjaro is 5,895 meters tall.
Okay. All right, well done. Yes, so it'd be good if you can send some examples to compare them. And well done, Giorgio. So Madagascar is the biggest island in the world. Hawaii is less bigger than Madagascar. Okay, very good. The first part is perfect. But instead of less bigger, how might we say that? So Madagascar is the biggest. So everything is, what's the comparative? Okay, I would say Hawaii is smaller. Okay. Okay, so use the comparative. Okay, because you're comparing the two. Yeah. Lake Tahoe is the deepest lake. What's another way to say less deep? Again, think about, use a comparative. So you've got deep. What's the opposite of deep? Remember the opposite of deep?
Shallow.
Yeah. So if you use that as a comparative, how would you use that, guys?
Yeah. I would say generally avoid trying to make negative comparisons in that way. Look for the adjective instead, which expresses that.
So you say Lake Victoria is shallower. Right? It's shallower than Lake Titicaca. Okay. Yeah, I agree with Sean. Try and use a comparative rather than the negative. Just look at the opposite adjective. So for example, Sean is taller than me. I'm shorter than Sean. Okay, I don't say I'm less tall than Sean. I say I'm shorter than Sean.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you really wanted to use tall, you could say Danielle is not as tall as Sean, but that's a bit complicated and we'd probably just say shorter.
Yeah. Just keep it simple. Okay, very good. Just want to try one more. What about the mountains? Someone compare the mountains, maybe. Or maybe the lakes, how big the lakes are. Comparatives and superlatives are, they take a bit of practice, but they're definitely good to know. You'll find you use them all the time. Okay. Giorgio, great. What have we got? Yeah. Yep. Very good. Okay. Perfect. It's higher. All right. Shall we go? Yeah. Mount Fuji is smaller or lower than Mount Kilimanjaro. Yep. Yeah, lower. I agree. I think that's right, Francois. Lower is better. Okay. Well done. Okay. Now let's go back. All right. Here we have a bit of an exercise, which we should be doing in pairs, which is a bit hard to do with our virtual classroom, but we can try. Now, we want to describe our hometown or our city to everyone else. And we need to use these questions as a guide, okay? Think about how you would describe the streets in your city or town. Are they narrow or are they wide? What's the most important source of water, fresh water or salt water? And what's the geography of the place? Okay, are there mountains, valleys, cliffs, anything? All right, think about all of the nouns we've discussed. So if you guys can tell us about Catania. Obviously, it's a big volcano near Catania, isn't there? So there's one mountain. Catania and Leon. And Sean, you can tell me about your home in Ireland, and I guess I can describe my city in Australia. Do you want to go first, Sean, or do you want me to start?
Yeah, I can begin. So the streets in my hometown. So I grew up in a village in rural Ireland in the countryside. So not an urban area. There was a population of 100 people in my village.
Wow, 100 people.
A village called
Very small.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, very small. Everybody knows each other, and there's just one street, and it's very narrow. It's a very narrow street, and in the Irish countryside, all the roads, all the streets are very narrow. How about in Australia? What city are you from again, Danielle?
I'm from Perth, which is on the west coast of Australia. So you've got Melbourne and Sydney on the east coast, and I'm from the city on the west coast. So it's the city, the population is about the same as Milan. So it's a decent size, it's an okay size city. And it's because everything in Australia is quite modern because it's quite a young country. So the streets are quite wide. They're not narrow. The streets are quite wide. Okay. All right. We've got some descriptions, Francois. So yeah, Leon is built between two rivers. Yeah. And just near a hill. Yeah. I'd say close to a hill. Okay. Leon is close to a hill. Yep. Very good. And there's the church, which looks a bit like the Sacré-Cœur in Paris, I remember. So this word, so I guess in Italian we have basilica, and I guess that's the French version. But we don't have a special word for that in English. We just say the cathedral. Okay, it's just a big church. We don't have a special word for basilica. So we just say the cathedral. Yeah. Okay. And yes, Lyon is much smaller than Paris. I know. Okay, what's the most important source of water? So in Lyon, there's obviously the river. And Giorgio's talking about Florence. Okay, this is an interesting one. So yeah, Florence streets. So with comparatives, as we said, so there's a bit of a grey area with comparatives for adjectives with 2 syllables, because some of them, to make a comparative, you need to add at the end, and some of them you need to add more at the start. And this one, for narrow, you add at the end. So how do you do that, Giorgio? How would you make, we don't say more narrow, we say something else. It's one of these tricky things in English, which you just have to learn them. So yeah, adjectives with 2 syllables. Some use the regular form, adding er, and some you add more at the beginning. Okay.
Yeah, an example of a common one that we use more, which is 2 syllables, is modern. So, for example, Perth is more modern than the village of Fina in Ireland.
Yeah. Okay, so in your village, Sean, what's the most important source of water?
There is a lake near the village, and there's a lot of lakes in the region. It's called the Lakelands in Ireland.
Okay.
And yeah, there's many small lakes, but lots of lakes. What's the source of water in Perth? Because in Western Australia it's quite dry, isn't it?
Yeah, all of Australia is pretty dry, but yeah, we have a river. We have the Swan River, and otherwise we use the seawater for different things. We have desalination plants, which remove the salt from the ocean water, so we can use it
Oh,
because there's pretty much always a drought in Australia. There's never enough rain.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, oh dear.
Okay. Giorgio, maybe we should write how we use it. So we say Florence's streets are narrower than my cities. Okay. So yeah, you need to say narrower. All right. But otherwise, perfect. Well done. Okay. What is the geography of your hometown like in general? So Leon and Catania, can you explain it to us? Um, you don't need to use comparatives and superlatives. Maybe just describe the land generally. So where I'm from,
Mm,
Perth. Perth is very flat. There's not lots of mountains. Um, there's no valleys. There's no cliffs. There's lots of beaches, and there's the main river, and there are some smaller rivers and some small bodies of water just off from the coast. Um,
mm.
and Sean, how about you?
Yes, so in Ireland we don't have mountains, but pretty much in all of Ireland we have hills. So we don't have a kind of a flat area of land. Where I live, it's kind of green hills, and between the hills you get rivers and lakes and different things like that. And by the sea, we have a lot of cliffs. We're very famous for our cliffs because the Atlantic is a ocean when it hits against the shore, so it creates lots of cliffs.
Mhm. Giorgio, yeah, this is perfect. Well done. That's perfect and very true. Yeah, Florence is more expensive than Catania. Excellent. So yeah, expensive, 3 syllables. So you're going to have more beforehand. Okay. Well done, guys. I've nearly finished. So before we go, I'll just say during this quite unusual period where none of us are at school, Francois, I guess it's the same for you. I know France is under lockdown as well. We've set up a Facebook group called My SOS English. And basically, it's an opportunity for the students like you guys to write to us, the teachers, with any general questions you have about English. Okay, maybe there's something you have always wondered about or something you don't quite understand, and we can answer you. We can write to you to answer your question. Okay, to try and help you. So check it out. It's yeah, it's worth sort of taking advantage of. All right. So I think that's it. Oh, here we go. Giorgio's got a comment. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. It certainly is expensive. Yep. um, Francois had another comment as well. Yeah, close to Lyon, there are lots of, we say lots of hills. Yep. Oh, no, sorry, a lot of hills. That's good. I misread that. Okay, guys. Well, if that's it, Sean, do you have anything more to add? No?
No, just thank you to Giorgio and Francois. They're both very strong.
Yeah, excellent. I thought you both were excellent. Yeah, you were very good for level 6 and level 7. Okay, well, enjoy the rest of your evening and we'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye-bye.